Welcome to today's vlog on being in the present. I'm a senior in high school. I'm 17 years old. And when I was a sophomore, I did not have any anxiety. I had the best life, had great friends, awesome grades, everything was perfect. I loved my life. I was so happy with where I was at, and it was seriously just the greatest year of my life. Come my junior year of high school, which was last year, I started having really bad anxiety. A lot of it stemmed from being at school, and other aspects of it were just unexplainable. Because of that, I started secluding myself. I didn't want to be around people. I was nervous. I was so scared about what was happening. I never told anybody how I felt. I was embarrassed. I didn't want my friends to think I was weird or to stop being friends with me. I didn't want my boyfriend to break up with me. I didn't want anything to happen. When I finally came to the fact that I have anxiety and it's a real thing and I need to see somebody for it, I was still very embarrassed. But more than just being embarrassed, I was so depressed along with the anxiety because I felt like I wasn't myself anymore. I felt like a huge part of who I am, the fun, bubbly, spontaneous girl I thought I was, I no longer were those things. And I didn't go out anymore. I didn't have any friends. I didn't enjoy going into public. It was really hard for me to just function like a normal human being. And others with mental disorders understand how this could be. I know that people with OCD just can't feel like they are living a life. They feel like they are dominated by their OCD. Or if you have depression, you feel like you're dominated by your depression and you don't have the power to be happy. And I think for me, anxiety totally did that to me. It took my life and made it anxiety. It did not make it Shalice's life. It made it anxiety. And it was so hard for me. It made me feel so defeated. I was having a conversation with a good friend of mine who's an adult, and she was saying that it's okay to feel like you're a different person now. It's okay because you have grown. I think it's so important to know that we're not just going to be stagnant human beings for the rest of our lives. There's challenges that are going to happen. There's things that are going to shape us into the person who we need to become. And I'm not saying anxiety is awesome because it's so not, but it has an awesome effect on you eventually. I can say that I have learned so much about myself because of my anxiety. It's important to know that it's okay to go through a grieving process. Just as if somebody was mourning the loss of a loved one, you can mourn the loss of your old self. That's something that was really challenging for me. It took me a lot of time. I did not want to accept the fact that I was a different person now than I was my sophomore year when I was so happy and content with life. And when I finally accepted that you have to go through a grieving period where you mourn the loss of your own self as you have become a new person with new traits and qualities that you may not like. My new traits were worry, anxiety, being scared all the time, not being happy anymore, and being just depressed and self-conscious, and those things made me who I was. And I did not want to be this new person. But you have to accept it. You have to grieve over the last person that you were, and you have to realize that everything, I know, so cliche, everything happens for a reason, but really, everything happens for your growth. That is how I think of it. I do believe everything happens for a reason, but I also believe that everything happens for your growth. I can look at myself and say, I'm Shalise with anxiety. There is anxiety in me, but I'm not the anxiety. So important. When you look at yourself in the mirror, you need to say, I'm whoever you are who has bipolar disorder, or who has schizophrenia, or who has OCD, and you don't associate yourself as that person, but with that. My anxiety teaches me, and my anxiety shapes me into a new person. Now, this new person that I had to accept that I was becoming is not my end product. It's not the last person I'm going to shape into. We shape into different people along the course of our lives. And this was my great person I was really proud of. This is my person now that I don't really appreciate that has anxiety, but I will be another person eventually. I'll get there. So that's really important to remember, that you're not going to be this way forever. Who are you now? Who were you? And who do you want to become? And when? It's not always up to us when we get to become a new person. It's not. Things happen in life, unfortunate events that we have no control over. But we need to be present and happy with the person we are currently. And we don't need to rush becoming the next person. We don't need to dwell on that person that we were in the beginning. We need to be happy for who we are now. Because who we are now is the person we see in the mirror, the person we live in every day, and it's the person we must love. So love this person that you are now. Even if you have anxiety, even if you're depressed, even if you're bipolar, even if OCD is controlling you. Embrace it. This is who you are, and it won't be forever, but embrace it in the now.